So great to see so many of you here. My name is Heather Brungard, and I am the project director for the GSWEC project. I'm also vice president of workforce development at Partners in Care Foundation. And I thought I would just start off by going over our agenda for today. So our session today is from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock. We may not take all that time, or we may. We want this to be a relaxed, joyous occasion. And we certainly want to recognize all of our students, all of our field agencies, and all of our universities who've been on this journey this year with us. So in just a few moments, I'm going to turn over the time to June Simmons and Jennifer George, who will do a welcome and share some opening remarks, maybe a little bit of history about GSWEC, which is always nice. And then June will introduce our keynote speaker. And then our keynote speaker will share some congratulations with all of you. And the wonderful thing is she is a GSWEC graduate herself. And so she'll talk to you, and June will introduce her. And then we'll start with the kind of the meat of this time together, which is really recognizing all of the students, their posters, and saying some congratulation words to all of them. So that will take most of our time. And then we're going to close out with hearing a little bit about alumni and why becoming a GSWEC alumni is important, and why staying connected to your GSWEC colleagues is important. And then Jennifer will wrap up, George will wrap up with some closing remarks. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer and George, or Jennifer and June, to welcome you.
Well, thank you. And we should thank Heather, who's completed her first and high impact year with GSWEC, bringing new structure. We've enjoyed a UniHealth grant to invest in us expanding and strengthening, deepening this powerful, deep history that we have here. It's very important to have the right talents available to address our shifting population from a diversity perspective, from the growth of the older populations. So you are very important. And I had the pleasure of co-founding with a variety of our colleagues, the Geriatric Social Work Education Consortium, GSWEC, earning the first funding. It was funded in its first 4 years, and then it's been self-funded. All the schools and all the agencies have invested to make it what it is now, which is quite a powerful coalition of the 8 schools and is it 12 agencies? Now. 13 agencies, yep. The best agencies for senior serving, very important. And so this is a real treasure that's held to invest in all of you that we're here to celebrate today. I think this is our 24th year. Do we know how many total graduates this will take us to?
I think right at 700, June, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I think closer to 9 probably.
900? Oh, well, yeah. Maybe. Yeah, hard to keep up. Yep.
Yeah, well, let's just say we have seeded the region with a lot of people who had the good wisdom to enter a specialty field of practice for their second-year field education that equip them as leaders clinically or otherwise. It's very important to lead in every aspect of professional performance that suits you and where you have a palette to paint, if you will. So at Partners in Care Foundation, we're committed to new models of care and evidence-based care and innovations and impacting the shape of our society, especially the shape of healthcare. And a lot has occurred over those years, and you will be, as the new graduates, carrying forth the new energy, the new vision, the new insights, and impacting the field, as you'll hear from our keynote speaker, come out of GSWEC and do great things. So it's I think, very, very exciting to see you have completed. I was thinking, I guess you're the first GSWEC group that's graduating that's been in a pandemic in your whole master's process. So you've been courageous and stalwart, and I would hesitate to say lucky to be alive, but maybe all of us are. In any case, you know, this is a tumultuous time we live in, whether it's the pandemic, whether it's the political divide, whether it's the Russians taking on Ukraine. It's a dramatic time to be alive. And so your leadership as new, emerging, full-fledged MSWs really is proud and important. So we're all looking to celebrate what you've done, which is get it behind you. Congratulations, and leap out into the new phase, which will be lifelong learning to continuously become the greatest gift you can to all of those around you, those you serve with, and just those you love. So, so I'm very proud of you. We have been very pleased to have a new chair this year. And so Jennifer George, as our chair for GSWEC, is going to offer her welcome as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to see everyone here today. It's just wonderful to see the students here today. Really is a celebration of each of you and your accomplishments. I've spent the whole year with you in the didactics, and I told you it was all leading to this day. So it's just wonderful to see you all here and succeeding in making this accomplishment. And to all the agency representation and the universities, we're just so grateful here at GSWEC for your unwavering support, and to the steering committee that fights tirelessly on behalf of the students to create such a wonderful, well-rounded experience. I just want to extend my gratitude and thank all of you for being here today. It's a very exciting day. It's a very critical time for social work, and we're just excited to celebrate you today and to have a great event. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. I guess then, with no further ado, we will look to the opportunity to hear our version of a commencement speaker. We love to have a graduate, an alum, and in this case, Adriana Mendoza is a very proud alum. Weren't you in the first GSWEC graduating class? So what year was that?
You know, I just remember it's been 20 plus years ago.
So she's a wonderful example of coming through this and then finding a career path where you can have effect, work in a, you know, if you were a painter, finding a canvas that suits you and bringing your work as a form of art, your stewardship of human resources to make a better world and better lives for others. And so Adriana represents that very well in her service at AARP. She is very, very important role as the Associate State Director. And we've admired her. She's come full circle from being, you know, Partners in Care Foundation is the home of GSWEC. We have the office that supports this organization's work, although it's all run by volunteers, except for now it has a director. But Adriana, this last year, came on our board of directors. So we're very proud to have her go from student to director. So, hey, boss, CEO works for the board. We're very proud to have you be here and extend your perspective and wisdom and your caring thoughts to this great group of our GSWEC graduating class. Adriana Mendoza.
Thank you, June. Thank you so much for those remarks. And I really appreciate the invitation to be here with all of you today. Good afternoon, everyone. It's just a tremendous pleasure that I am here today addressing you. Thanks, June, again, and Heather for the invitation, and everyone else who put this event together. GSWEC, as has been mentioned, has a very, very special place in my heart. I was part of the first cohort of students who participated in the program, and this is, you know, and here I am today, 24 years plus later, speaking to your 2022 cohort. I do hope that you take some time to pause and reflect and give yourself some credit for not only finishing this year, but doing this, as June mentioned, in the middle of a pandemic. I know firsthand all the hard work this entails, long hours of studying, internships, sleepless nights, doubts about why the heck are you even doing this? Lots of Starbucks coffee, and you know, it's tough. So, but it all comes together, and now you're here, you're done. So pause and celebrate. So as I was thinking about my remarks today and reflecting on the message that I wanted to impart, several things came to mind, and I decided to share some parts of my personal experience and life journey and how I got here where I am today. So first, I want to say that I firmly believe that our social work profession is a very important profession. We are taught the skills of practice. We use case studies to be empathetic. We are asked to adhere to the social work code of ethics and standards of integrity. And at the end of our training, we're equipped to go on and do good work. Whether you end up in direct practice or macro practice, you often interact with multidisciplinary teams of people. Some, I will caution, might question the value of our profession. And it will be a reminder to all of you of why you enter this, why it's so personal to you that you enter the profession in the first place. So people often ask me why I chose to study social work and work with older adults. And for me, it is personal. As the youngest of 5 siblings, my parents immigrated to the US from Mexico when I was 2 years old. My parents were farm workers, and during the summers, we would travel as a family all over the Central Valley and work in the fields. As a kid, I thought that those were our camping trips because we would sleep in our car and sleep in tents. But later I realized that that was our livelihood. And in fact, at the young age of 7 and 8, my parents depended on my labor to make it. Now that's called child labor and the laws have changed. But for us, it was our summers. That was our family experience. I saw my father experience his first heart attack at the age of 50 while he was in the middle of a grapevine field. He was then diagnosed with coronary heart disease and diabetes, and he lived with these chronic conditions for 25 years and passed away at the age of 75. I witnessed him navigating the complicated healthcare system. I saw my mother struggle as his primary caregiver, and I saw him dealing with the Social Security Administration, trying to get his SSI, with Medicare, with Medicaid, and it was complex. It was difficult, and more so if it has to do with your family and a family member. It's tough. So that's how I think it all started. And then when I was in college, I was meeting with a career counselor, and she mentioned to me if I was aware of a field of study called gerontology. And she said it was the study of old people. Then I was studying a undergrad, it was a in public policy and administration at Cal State Bakersfield. I moved to LA after graduating, and in my first job out of college, I met my dear friend, Fernando Torres-Gil, Professor Fernando Torres-Gil, who later, if you know Fernando, some of you may know him, then he told me all about gerontology and geriatrics. And that is how it all started for me. I ended up going to UCLA and becoming part of the GSWEC cohort. At that time, I think GSWEC might have been an experiment, as many great experiments that Partners in Care has started. In my UCLA class, I was there was only 6 of us who were concentrating in older adults. And now look at all of you here today. Our field has grown and the need is even greater. And that is why I'm so happy to be witnessing yet another cohort that is graduating today. Congrats. Second, I do want to address the role of advocacy and our responsibility as advocates. Again, whether you are working with individuals, groups, families, or community settings, whether you are influencing change at the micro or macro level, we are advocates. We become the voice for others who don't have a voice, others who don't have access, others who don't even speak the language. I mention this because we should be unapologetic when we call ourselves advocates. I say this because this might too become to question during your professional journeys. A few years ago, I was in a policy analysis class as part of my PhD program. And one of my professors told me that I needed to be less of an advocate and think more as an analyst. I thought about those words, and I later had a deeper discussion with him. And I realized that as an academic in the academic setting and research and data, and he had certain expectations for me. And I realized that I was not going to be able to ever turn that advocate switch on or off. And I shouldn't have to. It's just who I am. And I take it as a responsibility. There are not too many of us. So truly who are advocating for older adults. So consider yourself special and never apologize for being an advocate. Lastly, this wouldn't be a graduation speech if I didn't share some quotes. And as I pondered on which of the many inspiring characters of history, heroes, heroines, or that I admire, one stood out, and that is someone who, I was surprised we didn't study in school as an important influence, especially in our field. And this is our ARP member, Dr. Ethel Percy Andrews. Those of you from USC, and I can't see your faces, but USC is in the crowd, do know her. Your school has her name. Yet for those who don't know of Dr. Andrews, I hope that you take some time to study and learn about her important contributions. Dr. Andrews was an educator. She was the first female principal in the state of California, here in Lincoln High School in our backyard. If you ever are curious, we can set up a tour for you to tour the school and see her name all over the building. It's great to experience her footprint there. She became a caregiver for her mother and retired from teaching at the age of 70. In 1947, she began the National Retired Teachers Association, NRTA, after she saw many of her retired teachers living in poverty, especially one of her friends who was living in a chicken coop, literally in a chicken coop. She saw this and wanted to create change. So she started the NRTA, the National Retired Teachers Association, and later founded ARP in 1958, formerly the American Association of Retired Persons, which extended the benefits not just to teachers, but for all older adults. One of my favorite quotes by Dr. Andrews is, "To serve, not to be served." I think this quote embodies the ultimate call for service, which is what we do as social workers. Another quote from Dr. Andrews is, "What we do for all. What we do for all." In this quote, she's giving us a message of inclusivity. Back six decades ago, she was talking about inclusivity, which is one of the most salient messages in our current environment of diversity and inclusion, as you all know currently. Dr. Andrews was definitely ahead of her time. Her words have inspired me in my current work and ARP work and beyond. So you have come to the end of your program today. You have established an important network for the rest of your life. That is what GSWEC has done for you. For me, it really has become full circle. As June mentioned, 24 years ago, I was sitting where you are. Today, I address you as your keynote speaker. I work for one of the largest organizations advocating for older adults in the country, and I'm a board member of Partners in Care Foundation, which connected me to GSWEC. So I am content and I am blessed. I thank you for your time.
They're all on mute, so you won't hear the round of appreciation and applause for sharing such a personal and uplifting story. It's a true American story. So it's very touching and important to hear how your heart has stayed deep in this service. So thank you. And I think, Heather, are you going to move us into the celebration of these fine individuals who have each accomplished so much with the help of such a village of supporters who have worked very hard year-round to recruit you, support you through, and now to celebrate you?
Great. Thank you, June. Adriana, I just wanted to echo June's comments, and I just met Adriana, gosh, it's been just a few weeks ago in person. I was out in California for a board meeting, and I can say she's one of those people that as soon as you meet her, you feel an instant warmth and an instant connection. And so I very much appreciate you spending time with us today and sharing your story. So thank you. All right, so as June said, this is now time for us to recognize all of you. And before we get started, I do want to recognize a few people behind the scenes who've made today possible, and particularly this section of the program possible. So first is Jason Moriarty. Some of you know Jason because he finds himself always being reconnected back into GSWEC. And he put together a wonderful PowerPoint slide presentation of all of your posters and abstracts and your pictures if you submitted them. And I can't say enough about how much help Jason has been in this process. And he's also super technical. So, and he does it with a smile on his face. So just wanted to thank Jason. I also wanted to thank Artrina Hines and Candace Reynolds. So they are behind the scenes working to put together certificates. So each student will receive a certificate as well as the field instructor for the student. We're packaging those together in envelopes and sending them to your field agencies. So please watch for those. In that packet this year, and you all are the inaugural class for this, is June's holding it up on the screen. We have created a new GSWEC pin. And it's a pin that we hope that you will wear or put somewhere on display. And I'm just now seeing it for the first time and it looks great. I helped with the design of that. So So those things will be in an envelope sent to your field instructor. If you have many field instructors in your agency, we're picking one, we're stuffing them all in the envelope. And so seek those out, and hopefully that field instructor is going to be reaching out to you as well. We apologize if some of you have already left field. You may have to come in to pick these up, but we hope you will. And some of you, we're hoping to get those out by the end of the week. So hopefully you'll get those before your last day. So with that, here's our plan. Jason is going to put on the screen the slide presentation, and I will read each of the field agency leads who agreed to lead their agency section. And so if Jason put that up on the screen, we'll get started. All right. So this is just a summary of the students, their placements, and poster projects. We've given each of the agencies 3 minutes. That doesn't seem like very long, but we do have a lot of agencies and a lot of students and posters to move through. So if they can stay 3 to 5 minutes, that would be awesome. And hopefully they'll pause as they're reading the students' names, so all of you can wave at the screen or put up your little hand on your Zoom. And then we'll move to the next agency. So we'll go ahead and get started with our first agency. These are in alphabetical order. So we're going to start, I believe, if we go to the next slide, with Ultimate. And we have Lisa Ruiz Vingaladas. I probably am not saying that correctly, and I apologize, but she is the social work manager at Ultimate, and maybe she can say her name correctly. And she will kick us off. So Lisa, take it away.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Yes, my name is Lisa Ruiz Vangelatos, and I am the social work manager for Ultimate PACE. And we had 6 students this year. Let's go ahead to the next slide and we'll jump in. Okay, so our first one was called Let's Stay Connected. And this was actually a partnership between 2 of our students that were placed in 2 different locations. We have Jeanette Gonzalez, who's from APU. And she was at the Covina site where her field instructor was Carrie Hahn. And we also had Lizette Avila, who was placed at our Huntington Park PACE Center. She comes to us from Cal State Long Beach, and her field instructor was Dalia Guillen. Congrats, Jeanette and Lizette, you guys did a great job. Next slide. Okay, social determinants of health. This was a great project completed by our student Kennedy DeBose. Kennedy comes from USC, and she was placed at our Grand Plaza PACE program, which is in Chinatown. And her field instructor was Maria Emilia Rosales. Thank you, Kennedy, for your great work. Next slide. All right. Fostering social connection and well-being among older adults. This is a project completed by Stephanie Garcia. Stephanie is from Cal State LA, and she worked out of our South LA PACE program, which is in the Watts area, and her field instructor was Adriana Martinez. Thank you, Stephanie, great job. Next slide. Okay, Karen. Karen comes from Cal State Dominguez Hills, and her project was called Wellness Calls and Psychoeducation. Our students did a lot of studying around remote work that we had to do during the pandemic. And Karen was placed at our Linwood PACE Center, and her field instructor has been Linda Hernandez. Thank you, Karen. Next slide. El Grupo de Aprendizaje, which translates to the learning group. Rosanna Ramos Ortiz, she's with Cal State LA, and she was placed at our PACE program in East LA, where her field instructor was Stephen Villarreal Jr. Thank you, Rosanna. And yeah, so that concludes our 6 students. I just want to quickly say to our students, thank you so much for all the hard work. Not only did you have a tremendous impact on our participants and their families, but our staff, our PACE leaders, you really impressed them with your collaboration, your adaptability, your creativity, despite all the uncertainties with COVID. You know, you really addressed the needs of our medically frail, chronically ill participants. So thank you so much. We're going to miss you. Good luck to you on your journey. Thank you.
Lisa, thank you so much. I'm so glad you could be here. All right,
Thank
so
you.
next up we have Kathy Ladd, Senior Vice President of Programs at Alzheimer's Los Angeles. So Kathy?
Hey, everyone. We had 2 students, and next slide, I'll tell you about what they did. All right. Evaluating the effectiveness of Spanish newsletters amongst the Hispanic Latinx community. Our student was Noemi I always stumble on her last name, Arivelo. She's from Cal State Fullerton. She was at our Wilshire office, and her field instructor is Tori Boyer. Thank you, Noemi, for your hard work. Next slide. Our second student worked on a project to identify the impact of dementia friends among Los Angeles County Latinos. Vanessa Quintanilla is from Azusa Pacific. She was also at our Wilshire office, and her supervisor, field instructor, is Juan Saavedra. So thank you both, Noemi and Vanessa. Congratulations. I'm sure it feels like it's been a long road to reach your goals, but you did it. And it's time to enjoy the fruits of your hard work and take a moment to feel good about the contributions that you've made. I hope we were able to help you grow professionally and personally in your journey as a social worker. We wish you much success and happiness as you pursue your dreams. And we'd love to hear about all the good work that you will do in the future. All the very best from the team, Zena, Tori, Juan, and the entire Alzheimer's LA team.
Great. Thank you so much, Kathy. All right, so the next slide, another big group of students from Alzheimer's Orange County, and we have Mark Odom, Chief Executive Officer, who will share information for us.
Thank you very much, Heather. I think we gave you the wrong copy. I'm the Vice President of Program of Memory Support Services, and definitely not our CEO, but that's okay.
Promotion you weren't aware of.
Oh my Lord. I definitely don't want. But thank you. We've had a great group of students this year. It's just been fabulous, and very grateful that all 7 were part of our team this year. I'm happy to talk about each of their presentations, their GSWEC projects. If we go to the next slide. All right. This project was completed by Marlette Andaya. Marlette's project, from an English perspective, is a guide. She produced a guide designed to provide education and resources for caregivers of a person with Alzheimer's. She did this project, produces this document is 24 pages long for the purpose of educating our Spanish caregivers here in Orange County. And she's a student at UCLA, and she participated in our SWIFT program and dementia care coordination programs here at our headquarters at Alzheimer's Orange County in Irvine. And her clinical supervisor was Carlina Baduri. Thank you, Marlette. Great job.
Yes, I can.
Next slide.
I will stop.
Okay. Impact of adult day health centers on cognitive impairment and depression. This project was a joint project by Lily Fry, Naomi Grant, and Don Garay. Let's see. Lily attends Cal State Fullerton. Naomi attended USC, and Don attends Cal State Los Angeles. Lily's site was our South County Healthy Aging Center located in Laguna Woods. Naomi's field placement site was our Acacia Healthy Aging Center in Garden Grove. And Don's site was our Alzheimer's Orange County headquarters here in Irvine, where she assisted with the SWIFT program and our dementia care coordination program. Let's see. I don't have their listing here of their individual supervisors. So my apologies. But this is a very impactful study of our health centers and the impact of cognitive impairment and depression and how it changed over the course of the year in which we were doing our adult day health centers were working remotely. Really appreciate the work that they did here. It really shows some really significant impact on the mini mental status exam that the pandemic had on these on our participants. Next slide, please. Okay, Jean Mendiola and Michael Valdez did a project in which they looked into the spirituality and caregiver burden. Jean has attended Cal State Long Beach, and Michael went to Cal State Los Angeles. Jean and Michael were both assigned to our headquarters here at Alzheimer's Orange County in Irvine, where they assisted with our SWIFT program, which is affiliated with UCI Geriatrics, and our dementia care coordination programs. Jean was supervised by Donna Velarde, and Michael was supervised by Carlina Baduri. Dawn was supervised. Oh, this was in the previous group. Dawn was supervised by Tony Shapiro. Jean and Michael, thank you very much. Bringing about the study of spirituality and caregiver burden, I think is very impactful for our understanding of the importance of spirituality. It's really clued us in on that and help us planning and proposing new programs and impacting our community here. So thank you. You have one more. Next slide, please. Young adult caregivers with support to persons with dementia. Sharon Yajima, thank you very much for doing this study. It really, again, it introduced us to the concept that our younger caregivers are really in need of some additional support. And I really appreciate the work you did in doing this project. Sharon's a student at Cal State Dominguez Hills. Her site was at our headquarters here in Irvine, where she assisted again with our SWIFT program and our dementia care coordination. And Sharon is supervised by our clinical supervisor, Donna Velarde. I think that's all of our students that we had this last year. We really want to thank them. Jean, Michael, Lily, Marlette, Dawn, Naomi, and Sharon, and the entire GSWEC class of 22. We want to congratulate you all on this fabulous milestone. A sincere thank you for the work that you've done and the contribution you've made this far in your journey of learning and service. The next chapter begins. To borrow from Dorothea Jackson, take passion and determination anywhere you go, and we promise you'll go far. Thank you very much, all grads.
Great. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move along to Beach Cities Health District, and we have Emily Brucius, who's the manager of community service, who will talk about her student.
Thanks, Heather. I hope all you guys can hear us. I'm here with Jessica, so it's great to have her here. So yes, I'm Emily Brucius. I'm manager of community services at Beach Cities Health District, and we can take a peek at Jessica's slide. Wonderful. So Jessica Villatoro was our GSWEC student this year, and it's been amazing to have her. She's from Cal State Long Beach. Her specific field instructor was Rosalie Rappas, who unfortunately is not able to be here today, but really wishes she was. And Jessica did an amazing research project on looking into expanding caregiver support and kind of doing a needs assessment of caregiver support in the South Bay and what was offered virtually and what was offered in person. And she created a lovely brochure about self-care to hand out to our caregivers. And I'm going to read a few words from her field instructor specifically. So Jessica, here you go. So congratulations, Jessica. We at Beach Cities, we're honored to have you as a GSWEC intern. You've completed an incredible journey through turbulent times. It was wonderful to watch you grow, learn, and finish out this last part of your master's program. I feel like this past school year was a year of transition for all of us to a new normal, and we figured out together what that meant for your clients and for your learning experiences. I hope you feel the importance of the work that you've done and know that all who worked with you are better off for doing so. Your bright personality, friendliness, and infectious laugh made all of our days cheerier when you were around. I know that you will go far in this world of work, and I'm glad to have been part of your professional training. Wishing you the very best from Rosalie and all of us here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, next up is Huntington Senior Care Network, and we have Eileen Coons, who's the director of Huntington Senior Care Network at Huntington Hospital. So we'll let you continue on, Eileen.
Thank you, Heather. I hope you can hear me okay. Welcome, everyone. It's an exciting time. I just wanted to, I think I see all of our students on here. We've had a wonderful year back in the office and hybrid work. And so things have become a little bit closer to normal, and it's been a great year with you all. So starting with our first presentation. So this one is a great project done by Amabel Robles Navarre, who's with Cal State Los Angeles, CSULA, and her field instructor, Marisol Silva, one of our GSWEC team members, as well as this is a joint project with Isabel Bustos from UCLA, and her field instructor was Crystal Mock. Both of them did their internships in our multipurpose senior services program, a long-term care management program, and the project was on accessible outreach for older adults. So helping us to really, you know, land on key messaging for our outreach so that we're at a nice common reader level for all people that we're trying to reach. So that's our first project. And then if you want to scroll to the next one. So the next one is by Isabel Fernandez, and she is with Cal State Northridge, and Isabel's field instructor was Kristen Tachiki. And this one is on mitigating the effects of compassion fatigue amongst healthcare professionals. Very relevant topic as well. You can read all about that and her findings. And recommendations. And then there's another project, if you want to go back, there's another project. We have another student, Jamal Wesley, and he is finishing out a project on, community outreach in, locations where older adults congregate, kind of naturally congregate. So barbershops and churches and things of that sort. And so I want to read a wrap-up message from our entire team to our wonderful students. And that is, we want to thank you for your time, energy, and dedication to Senior Care Network this past year. It's been our honor to guide you through your internship as you manage diverse and challenging cases, connected with our community, and helped to improve our program operations. Your hard work benefited adults and older adults with disabilities who may otherwise have slipped through the cracks. As you go forward, be confident in knowing that you're prepared to blaze trails and to continue the standard of excellence you embraced during your time with us. We look forward to seeing your career bloom in the coming years. Continue to believe in yourself and your goals for the future. And remember, the universe offers infinite possibilities. And that's signed with much gratitude from not only myself, but Kristen Tachiki, Kathleen Koda, Marisol Silva, and Crystal Mock. And I think I forgot to mention Jamal's field instructor is Kathleen. So great crop of students. And just a little plug, almost all of our current staff, social workers, are former GSWEC. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Eileen.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Jennifer George, Director of Community Social Services at the Motion Picture and Television Fund. Jennifer?
Good afternoon, everyone again. Next slide, please. We have two wonderful students. Our first student is Taemin An. His project was MPTF Social Workers Experiences with Adult Protective Services. He's currently at UCLA. He's been interning in our palliative care program, and his field instructor is Jessica Coy. Next slide. Thank you. Our second student is Rebecca Gustafson. Her project was on self-awareness and self-defense, a virtual workshop on staying safe in public spaces for people age 65 and older. She attends CSUN, and she's been interning in our Elder Connection program, and I am her field instructor. And here's a brief note from all of us at MPTF. Taemin and Rebecca, in the next few months, you will have completed school in the midst of a global pandemic. No doubt your life was disrupted. No doubt there was added stress. No doubt there was uncertainty. Despite these challenges, or more accurately, because of them, you are stronger. You are a stronger student, having tested yourself. You're a stronger job applicant as you've overcome the unexpected and persevered. You're a stronger person, finding the integrity or ingenuity and resolution that you didn't know you had. You're joining a noble profession. People will look to you for reassurance and for help in times of need. They literally will entrust you and their lives and their welfare to you. Remember to never accept the status quo. Always ask questions, be critical in your thinking, and always bring your true authentic selves to every room and every conversation. Remember what you were taught, and remember that you not only represent GSWEC, but you also represent your families and friends and all of those who have supported you along the way. Remember to always listen and learn and share. Cherish the fruits of your hard work. I wish that you continue to succeed in everything that you do. Dream new dreams, embark on who you are, embrace life with passion, and keep reaching for the stars. Shine on and go for it. With immense pride, all of us here at MPTF congratulate you on a job well done.
Thank you, Jennifer. That was wonderful. Next up is Pacific Clinics, and we have Diane Golden, Director of Social Work.
Hi, how are you? I am Diane Golden, Director of Social Work at Pacific Clinics. I'm happy to be here with all of you celebrating your GSWEC graduation. And I'm happy to celebrate with Angelica Cortez, Stephanie Esplita Hernandez, and Celeste Rodriguez. If we could go to the next slide, please. So the first project that was done was actually a great collaboration across universities with Stephanie Esplita Hernandez from Cal State LA and with Angelica Cortez from Cal State Dominguez Hills, where they looked at the effects of services in Spanish on older adult consumers. Both of them were placed together in our Santa Fe Springs location, working with our older adults services program, Adult FSB. And the next slide, please. And then Celeste Rodriguez, who is housed at our Pasadena program, Older Adult Services, worked on a project, and Celeste is also from Cal State LA, worked on a project engaging older adults 60 plus to receive prevention and early intervention services in the Aging Well program. And just have a few words to all three of you. Celeste, Angelica, and Stephanie. In the beginning of this year, we spoke about how your internship will be much like the process of a caterpillar transforming into a monarch butterfly. We let you know that struggles and challenges were a natural, vital part of the process. To fully transform and become butterflies that can soar, a lengthy process would ensue.
Hello.
Well, you trusted the process, and here you are, butterflies with your own inner strengths and beauties, your own unique perspectives, ready to spread your wings and soar and become our newest GSWEC social work colleagues. In the words of the great Maya Angelou, we delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. We know doing an internship during a pandemic, not to mention amid world strife, has been intense, and we are so proud of everything you have achieved this year. We are super excited that all three of you will be joining us as full-time employees at Pacific Clinics upon graduation. To you and all of your GSWEC colleagues, we wish you our heartfelt congratulations. Thank you.
Wow, that's wonderful, Diane. I'm so glad that the students are joining you. That's great. Great news. Great. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about the students we had at Partners in Care Foundation. So next slide. All right, this first poster is by Carla Luis. Carla attends UCLA. Her field instructor is Natalie Mondin, and she was placed in our home and community-based services, specifically in our assisted living waiver services. And this poster is awareness of personal rights at residential care facilities for the elderly. So congratulations, Carla. Next slide. This next one is by Kyle Patterson. Kyle attended Azusa Pacific University. His field instructor is Karen Leaf, and he was placed in our multi-purpose service senior services program. It's a mouthful. I always have to remember that. And Kyle's poster was social work care managers' knowledge of working with veterans, a process evaluation. So thank you, Kyle, for all your work. Next slide. The next person is Noemi Perez Alonso, attended Cal State Long Beach. Her field instructor was Renee Ochoa, and she was placed also in our MSSP program. And Noemi's poster is Multipurpose Senior Services Program and Evaluation of the Effects of COVID-19 Pandemic on the Caregiver Business Industries in Meeting Challenges in Search of Caregivers. So thank you so much, Noemi. And then finally, last but not least, we have Diane Velasco Escueda. Diane attended Cal State Long Beach. Her field instructors were Christy Lau and Cassandra Manfrey, and she was placed in our community wellness program. And Diane's poster was Analyzing Loneliness for Older Adults Participating in Virtual Evidence-Based Workshops. So congratulations, Diana. I just want to share, I had the pleasure of working with all of these students, plus the 2 first-year MSW students from GSWEC that we had placed at our organization this year. And we met nearly on a monthly basis and had a combination of a field instructor providing a didactic, but we also heard from each of the students throughout the year. They did a case study, and it was such a pleasure to see their growth over the many months that we all came together virtually, and to know how they became colleagues with each other. And as we've been mentioning throughout this time together, that's what's important, is those relationships that you formed with other social work students, your field instructor, your agencies, because those are the people that you'll lean on as you're moving forward in your career. So I want to thank you for all of your hard work and for making a difference in the lives of the older persons that we serve at Partners in Care Foundation. So congratulations. Okay, so next we have SSG Silver, and we have Vaughn's son, who's the division director, who will share some information with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yvonne, and I'm with Special Service for Groups. I direct our Silver division. And this year we had the fortune of having 4 GSWEC students join us. And they are Woo Sung Choi from Cal State LA, Mercedes Flores, Isabel Mejia, and Shantae Whiting, all from Cal State Long Beach. And as with many previous years, our students decided to do one group project together. So if you don't mind going to the next slide. The project that they worked on this year with us is analyzing housing challenges for SSG Silver clients. And this was particularly meaningful for our organization because over the years, we really recognized
my name is Maureen
growing
Burrell.
need for our population, the clients that we serve.
I'm well, how are you?
Our students completed a needs assessment that really informed our providers on our team of the needs and the resources or barriers that their clients are facing. But the data they collected also allowed us to turn it around into a grant proposal that we later on submitted to a foundation for additional funding to address this need. So I think overall, our team really appreciated the work that this group of students has accomplished. They presented their results to all of our staff, and they will be leaving our organization with a tool that they will be able to utilize to provide resources to their clients facing housing insecurities. So we're very thankful for the time that they have spent with us and the work that they have been during this year they've spent with us. Like Eileen shared earlier at Huntington, here at SSG, we also have quite a significant group of our staff that are post GSWEC students, and they serve as preceptors for our students this year. And they have a message that they wanted to share with our students this year. I think some of you will be joining us to continue our work with older adults and housing insecurity. But some of you will be moving on, and they really appreciated just having that opportunity to be part of your growth and your development, and the ability to see how you've evolved during this time and how you've adapted to the various challenges that we had to face this year between the remote work and a lot of the contactless interventions and creativity that all of you had to implement this year in working with our population. So they're really excited to see where you will, where your path will lead you, where your journey will take you. And we hope that you will stay in touch with us. That's it from us.
Thank you, Yvonne. All right, our next group is a big one. So Sally Hammett, who's the social work chief at the Veterans Administration of Los Angeles, will share about all of the students the VA had this year.
Great, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I look forward to introducing all the students. If you go to the first presentation. Great. So this first presentation is a scoping review and conceptual framework examining the role of sleep disturbance and financial exploitation in older adults. Such an important topic. So Jessica Armendariz from University of Southern California. She was with Health Promotion and Disease Prevention at our West Los Angeles VA. And her field instructor is Elisa Donner, who's a licensed clinical social worker who leads those efforts. So thank you, Jessica, very important topic. Next slide. The next poster presentation, this is a group effort from two of our trainees, and this is my Healthy Vet workshop. And my Healthy Vet is a way that veterans can connect with us electronically and in a secured way. And so Maria Bolena from Cal State University, Los Angeles, joined forces on this. She did her internship in polytrauma at West Los Angeles VA, and her field instructor was Susana Santiago. And we also had Jessica Villarreal from Cal State University, Los Angeles, join her on these efforts. Jessica was in the pre-op clinic at West Los Angeles, and her field instructor was Viara Stolova, licensed clinical social worker. And Jessica and Maria presented this workshop to veterans and caregivers in the Polytrauma Traumatic Brain Injury Clinic. And they collaborated with the My Healthy Vet coordinator. And this workshop was specifically provided during March National Brain Injury Awareness Month. Thank you to both of you for your important work. And next slide. Next is Campaign for Inclusive Care. Again, this was joint efforts. And Campaign for Inclusive Care is a strategic joint initiative of the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs and the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, and a national initiative to integrate caregivers into their veterans healthcare team. So we had Annabelle Gonzalez from Cal State University, Los Angeles. Annabelle was in our patient-aligned care team and jerry-packed at our Sepulveda campus. Sepulveda is an ambulatory care center, and her field instructor was Leah Lineweber, licensed clinical social worker. Brittany Green also joined forces on this one. Brittany is out of Cal State University Northridge, and her placement was at primary care mental health integration at our Sepulveda campus. But she also did rotations through inpatient mental health. So we have an inpatient psychiatric unit, which Brittany joined forces and did a rotation there. Her field instructor was Sona Aslanian, a licensed clinical social worker. Claire Lee also joined forces on this one. Claire is from Cal State University, Dominguez Hills. And so I think we have a change to the PowerPoint because I think the initial slide said Claire was from Long Beach, but she definitely confirmed with me that she's out of Dominguez Hills. So hopefully we can get that changed for you, Claire. Claire did her placement at the Geriatric Pact in Sepulveda, and Julie Abed, licensed clinical social worker, was Claire's field instructor. So thank you. Megan Maddox was also part of this project. Megan comes from us from Azusa Pacific University, and Megan did her placement at the Community Living Center at the West Los Angeles VA. And Virginia Villagomez, licensed clinical social worker, was Megan's field instructor. And finally, for this presentation, Donna Vasquez, she was also part of the team, and Donna comes from Cal State University, Dominguez Hills as well. She did her placement at the Community Living Center at the West Los Angeles VA. And her field instructor was Susan Pinback, licensed clinical social worker. So thanks to that group for that important work. We know that our caregivers need to be involved in care with veterans. So thank you. Next slide. Our next presentation is a joint effort as well, and this is staying active in older adulthood. And ultimately, as a result of the pandemic, we all know how important this is to engage our older veterans in staying active. So Angelica Petrus from Cal State University Northridge, her placement was through Health Promotion Disease Prevention at the West Los Angeles VA. And Elisa Donner was her field instructor. And in fact, all of these students were placed in Health Promotion Disease Prevention. Angelica was at West Los Angeles, but all of these interns were led by field instructor Elisa Donner, licensed clinical social worker. Raquel Fau, and Raquel, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And if I'm not, please let me know. Raquel is from Cal State University Northridge. And then we also had Jason Pineda. And Jason, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right as well. Jason's from Cal State University, Los Angeles. And again, all of those students were valuable with the health promotion disease prevention. Raquel and Jason were out of Sepulveda, and Angelica was West LA. So thanks to all of them for this important work. Next slide, please. And this is the last one for us. And this is behavioral detriments of positive airway pressure use in people with obstructive sleep apnea. And Jody Schnurrenberger, she was the lead on this, and Jody is a veteran. So thank you for your service, Jody. She is out of University of Southern California, and Jody was placed in adult day healthcare at Sepulveda, and Maureen Burrell, licensed clinical social worker, was Jody's field instructor. So thanks to all of you for your incredibly valuable and important work. And we have a message from you, in fact, a big message, congratulatory statements, but Heather, I know that I have a 3-minute time limit and I'm probably over that, so I will try to hurry with this message. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you for choosing us and for being integral part of our VA family. Your dedication, commitment, and advocacy made a difference. Never forget that you are called to ensure the fundamental core of our profession. Always stand up for what is right and be a voice about ensuring the well-being and equity of others. This is just the beginning. We can't wait to see the next chapter of your journey. We appreciate your dedications and contributions to the VA in these unprecedented times. You've moved forward, seeking knowledge to help our veterans and our communities. It's been great having you this year. I enjoy seeing the great progress of your learning and growing. Graduation may be an end of your student role, but there is a new beginning waiting for you as a social worker. I also want to quote a couple of people. I won't read all the individual congratulatory messages, but we'll get that to you. But a couple of quotes that your field instructors thought were really important. A quote by Maya Angelou: "People will never forget what you said. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And one more, as Mary Rose McGeady once said, "There is no greater joy nor greater reward than to make a fundamental difference in someone's life." So thank you to all of you. We're so proud of you, and we can't wait for you to come back and work with us at the VA.
Great. Nice job, Sally. That's great. We do have one more. There it is, Wise and Healthy Aging. And we have Miles McNeely, who's the Director of Elder Abuse Prevention Programs. So Miles, take it away.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Miles McNeely. I'm the Director of Elder Abuse Prevention at Wise and Healthy Aging. We had 7 students with us this year. Next slide. The first project is addressing gaps in fraud prevention for Spanish speakers in Los Angeles County by Sherry Barrias, who's a student at Cal State Fullerton and did her placement in the HEART program and was supervised by myself, which has been a joy and a pleasure. Congratulations, Sherry. Next slide. Psychoeducation to residents in long-term care facilities by Jasmine Marquez and Sandy Bustamante. Both students are at Cal State Los Angeles, and they did their placement in the Montebello region of the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. They were both supervised by Ellison Virtue. Well done, Sandy and Jasmine. Next slide. Language Barriers by Rosa E. Cruz. Rosa is a student at Cal State LA. She was placed in the Torrance region of the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program, and she was supervised by Kevin Taw. Congratulations, Rosa. Next slide. Advanced Healthcare Directive for Vulnerable Populations. This was conducted by Efren Garcia, who's a student at Cal State Northridge. He did his placement in the Van Nuys region of the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program and was supervised by Vanessa Martinez and Ginger Perini. Great work, Efren. Next slide. Exploring barriers of Latino caregivers of persons with dementia and the underutilization of adult daycare services by Socorro Garcia. Socorro is a student at Cal State Long Beach, and she did her placement in the care management program. She was supervised by Lisa DeBloy and Dr. Anat Lewis. Congratulations, Socorro. And next slide. An Introduction to Mindful Breathing by Brooklyn Magana. Brooklyn's a student at USC, and she was placed in our care management program, and she was also supervised by Lisa DeBloy and Dr. Anat Lewis. Well done, Brooklyn. So as our congratulatory message to all of the students at Wise and Healthy Aging, we want to congratulate Rosa, Jasmine, Sandy, Efren, Brooklyn, Sherry, and Socorro. It's been a pleasure to support your growth and to be part of this journey with you. We will mutually hold memories of learning as both students and mentors. We're excited to think about how this experience will continue to positively impact both our work as well as your future endeavors in social work and the communities that we all serve. We thank you for your commitment, energy, and dedication, and we're confident that you will continue to do great work wherever your path leads you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Miles. All right, so I just wanted to remind all of you, if you haven't seen emails coming through over the last couple of months, that with some of the funding that we received from UniHealth, we were able to create a freestanding GSWEC Now website. And it's a wonderful website. We got input from students and faculty and as well as some of our agencies in the creation of the website. And so the posters that you saw today, which my goodness, they were all amazing, will be on that website. And so I'd encourage you to go out and read them and reach out to the people that put them together if you have questions or you want to learn more. But also use that as the site for your transition, which we talked about at the top of the hour, which is transition into being an alumni of GSWEC. And so with that, wanted to have an opportunity for Jennifer George and Kristen Tachiki to share a little bit about the value of being a GSWEC alumni. Both of them are GSWEC alumni. In fact, Kristen currently is our chair of the alumni work group. So we'll start off with Jennifer and then pass it over to Kristen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm very fortunate to have a few titles, but one of the things I'm most proud of is being a GSWEC alum. And today is a tremendous example of that. As I look around the room, I see so many GSWEC alumni in leadership positions. And I think everyone here today is a living, breathing example of the power of GSWEC. Today is a tremendous day for all of you that are graduating from this program. And I hope that you're really allowing the appreciation and gratitude that we're trying to put onto you. I hope you're able to really absorb that. Just like any other relationship, you're probably thinking, what comes next now that I've graduated? And we're hoping that the next step in your GSWEC relationship is becoming an active member of the GSWEC Alumni Association. The GSWEC Alumni Association, its core existence is here to promote leadership in aging and to maintain a lifelong active relationship between working professionals in the field of aging. And by now, you know all about the demographic trends related to aging, and also the fact that few students in social work programs choose to specialize in working with older adults at a time when the need is at its greatest. And so the alumni group offers an opportunity to continue to surround yourself with like-minded peers that can help to advance the needs of the older adult population, while at the same time continuing to enhance your own professional development. The GSWEC Alumni Association group is here because we want you to succeed, and being part of this alumni group provides you with a number of opportunities to participate in networking events, to make key connections. Just look at some of the people who are here in the room today. To expand your professional knowledge and skills through workshops and trainings. To receive employment information through job postings. We have this incredible new website where you can easily go and hear all of the current information on aging, connect on a social media platform, see what jobs are available nationwide. You can also continue to pay it forward by becoming a mentor and taking what you've learned and passing it on to the next generation. And so the GSWEC Alumni Association is a tremendous resource that you have at your disposal. You're joining the ranks of very prestigious GSWEC alumni at a very important and key and critical time in GSWEC's history. as Heather said, we've launched this new website. You see the logo behind me. This is incredibly exciting. You're the first with these pins, which we talked about, swag. This was not an easy feat. So hold those pins very close to you. And I'm very privileged to hand it over to Kristen, who has demonstrated her leadership and passion around the GSWEC Alumni Association.
Thank you, Jennifer. I agree with you. I think that being a part of the GSWEC Association and also considering myself an alumni has been one of the highlights of my career, and being able to work with so many women and strong women and men that really do provide excellence in leadership. So your alumni group has some things in the work for you all. And I would be remiss not to say congratulations, graduating class. I know that it's been a long time coming, and congratulations. I would also like to introduce one of my colleagues who has worked with me throughout the year to get some of your events going. And her name is Rashida Patterson, and she is with Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay, well, congratulations to the GSWEC 2022 graduating class. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Kristen. It's been great, this entire presentation thus far. I love seeing everything and the culmination of everything coming together with the presentation, so we appreciate that. I've had, my name is Rashida Patterson. I'm the MSW Field Liaison, and I'm a professor at CSU Dominguez Hills. I've had the opportunity to participate in the GSWEC Alumni Stay Connected program this semester. So along with Kristen of Huntington Senior Care Network and Ermila, I know she's on here, I saw her, Merlero of CSU Los Angeles. We've been working together to come up with some different activities so that you all can take advantage of once you've graduated. We have been actively hosting a couple of events to recruit potential GSWEC mentors to work with you after you graduate. So shout out to those who have attended and have shown some interest. We appreciate you. So anybody who happened to miss those events, there's still opportunities to apply and have submitted an application. I'm going to drop the website in the chat in a moment. I would like to take the time to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of participating with Jennifer. Just touched on just a little bit about participating in the GSWEC Alumni Stay Connected program. So of course, I'm going to start with, you stay connected in a time when connection is crucial. So based off of this pandemic that we've been having, we're integrating back into the community, people were trying to still stay safe. This is the perfect time and the perfect opportunity to reconnect and to be able to identify someone that can guide you in this process, especially after what they've experienced and what you've experienced, and bring those ideas and thoughts together. You definitely are having the opportunity to build a lifelong relationship. That's kind of the purpose of having a mentor. It's not a one-time thing. You want to kind of establish a relationship and have someone to look up to help guide you. The opportunity to talk about the things that you've experienced and what your goals are moving forward in the future and how they can guide you. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to have a mentor, but as soon as I came into this career as a social worker, there were a lot of different people that I looked up to. There were a lot of different people that, I was able to connect with, but I didn't have that consistency of being able to check in and rely on them. So that's the one thing I would say. It's a minor regret that I wish I would have had, because then that could have helped me on my path and gave me a little bit more support and information as to the direction in which I wanted to go. So a mentor would be great. You get the opportunity to expand your knowledge and your skill set, of course. You gain valuable advice from a more experienced person because you're working with someone who is established in the field and wants to pass on their knowledge and experiences as a social worker. That's the key to the relationship, is they want to be there. They want to support you. They want to help. We're not asking them to do, be there 24/7. We're just asking for there to be a time frame where you can check in with them and say, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. What do you recommend? How does this look? These are the ideas I want to throw around. And you can kind of mold yourself from there. Also, you're going to build your professional networks, improve your communication skills, learn new ways of thinking. And of course, at the same time, you're advancing your career. So how can you go wrong with being a part of the Alumni Stay Connected program. So if you're interested, I'm going to drop of course, the new website into the chat, the link. So if anybody needs to, you just click on it. And then I'm also going to provide you with Kristen's contact information if you have any additional questions. Now, this is not just for our graduating students. This is for those who may have missed, some of the mentor workshops that we had introducing the program. So if there's some mentors out there, hint, hint, please feel free to reach out as well so that we can get you on board and we can have this established relationship for our students. So once again, congratulations. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Rashida and Kristen and Jennifer, and talking about the alumni. We've heard from the field agencies, and I did want, since we have a couple minutes, to see if any of our university representatives would like to share any congratulations or any words of wisdom. I see a very active chat happening, so you may be doing it through the chat. But I did want to give you the opportunity if you'd like to share some thoughts or some words.
Hi, Heather. Thanks for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.
Did I just cut somebody off?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. So to the students, you've done such an incredible job. As everybody has said, practicing during a pandemic is just incredible. It's something new to everybody. Nobody signed up for this, right? For a pandemic. So congratulations on a very difficult time to practice. I do want to leave you. I found this quote. I don't know who, I think our guest speaker started with a quote, and I actually had found a quote that I thought, oh, this is so perfect. So to those of you, just think about this. It's an African proverb, and it says, alone, a youth runs fast. With an elder, slow, but together they'll go far. And that just really reminds me of how your energy and everything that you bring to the table, right? It's just going to be amazing for those who also have wisdom and who have so much to share with us. So I do hope that you'll remember to always slow your pace and to walk together, because then you go far. And congratulations.
Great, thank you. Anyone else from our universities?
Hi, I'm Susan Salas from Cal State Long Beach. Thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to just take a minute to start with appreciating the field agencies that are hosting our GSWEC students, and also to the consortium. It's been a really different but fabulous year. I've really appreciated getting to know more of our agency partners and the other field directors and the representatives of the university as a result of the grant. And to our wonderful students, all of you are just so fabulous. The area of geriatric social work is not like an area that students kick down doors to get into, or to have an interest in. And so you are going to be leaders. You are leaders in the area of geriatric social work, and I want to personally thank you for your willingness to care for and to create innovative programs as you move forward into the profession, and to just shine as social workers in this very important area of practice. And I congratulate you all. I wish you all a fabulous career in social work, and stay in touch. Beach students, stay in touch, and all the other students, I wish you all well and a fabulous and awesome career. Thank you.
Great. We have time for one or two more. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Ermila Melero from Cal State Los Angeles. Just a quick shout out. Thank you, by the way, for giving us a minute to acknowledge everyone, including the agency partners, but also the university partners and all our students. For us at Cal State LA, this was one of our larger GSWEC cohorts. We had 16 I'm exceptionally proud of them. And they all did a wonderful job. And I saw all their, I mean, I wanted to cry, all the stuff they did for all the agencies. It was really inspiring. And I appreciate that they're going into a field with passion. And that's what we need right now more than anything. So I'm really exceptionally proud of all of them. And just really quickly on a personal note, most of those students are first generation graduates. So this is a bigger deal for them too. So congratulations.
Great.
That is great. Well, the universities really put their shoulders to this wheel. The agency leaders do. This is truly a consortium, and it's really led by this team. So there's a great deal of dedication. So hopefully you can hear the joy and the pride in all of you. Passing the threshold, all of us passed it at some point in the past and found such a wonderful entry into a life of service that so aligned with our values and gives a life of meaning and purpose, which as we know is so foundational to really a sense of pride and accomplishment and connectedness.
All right, any final words from anyone?
Oh, if I can, just a few moments just to congratulate everyone, GSWEC graduates, but also our CSUN students, Efren, Rebecca, Brittany, Chanel, Isabel, Angie, and Raquel. I think this is also our largest group from CSUN as well. So we hope to continue growing, and thank you for our agencies hosting, supporting our students as well. Welcome to our profession. Congratulations, everyone.
So next week, our cycle continues as we launch into matching. So we're super excited about that and seeing our next year's GSWEC students and what agencies they'll be placed in. So we're looking forward to that next Friday. All right, so I guess my final word is I just want to thank Jennifer and June for their leadership. June, especially for her longevity with the GSWEC program. I've been with partners almost a year, and I know how much GSWEC means to her. I mean, means to her very personally. And you can tell in her commitment over all these years to advancing our profession. So thanks to Jennifer and June for all of the work that they've done this year. So I think with that, make sure you go out to that GSWEC Now website, see the posters, read them in detail, enjoy your graduation, take some time off.
Did Jennifer have some final words?
Yeah, did you want to say something else, Jennifer?
Well, just as what I've already said, I think that I hope our celebration, today leaves everybody feeling a tremendous sense of joy and a sense of support that you're part of something bigger than maybe you even knew. And as you sort of take this next step in your future, I hope that you're able to take what you've learned in the academic setting and what you've learned in field and to translate that into your professional self. And I think we all believe that you have the abilities and skills and talent to move the field forward. And we're just tremendously excited for everyone here today.
So we'll see you at the alumni events. They'll be exciting. And Heather, we want to thank you for all your leadership. Very important leadership that Heather has brought to us. She's made quite a difference here. Thank you.